Hey, what's happening, folks? TextBoy91 here, and I'm bringing you my Super Bowl gameplay. Finally, every time I got to the almost to the championship, every time I got to the grasp of it, I would like get my ass whooped because somebody would always have a better team than me. Somebody would come out there with like a 94 overall squad and just like throw the ball down my throat. So I finally got a Super Bowl gameplay that I actually made to the Super Bowl. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is not going to be a live commentary, unfortunately. I decided to go ahead and do a post commentary because I want to talk about the ESPN NFL power rankings because I do like to talk about my opinion in videos about current events. So this is what is going on right now. If you guys don't know what the list looks like, I'll go ahead and post it in the description. But I'm going to talk about the top 10 currently. And number one of the power rankings that ESPN has put out is the Seattle Seahawks. And I honestly do not mind them being number one. And that's mostly because they haven't pretty much did any improvement on their team. They didn't go out and sign any major free agents, but they did improve in their pass rush by adding Cliff Averill from the Lions. And on top of that, they have the best secondary in the NFL currently. A lot of you guys probably saying the 49ers got a good secondary or the this team got a good secondary, but hands down, the Seattle Seahawks have a four-man pass rush and a secondary to boot with it. They got a nice two linebackers playing safety in Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas. And they got four cornerbacks that can shut down anybody, and they got a nice pass rush to get to any quarterback. So Seahawks are pretty much going to be a great team, I believe, next year. And with their offense the way it is, I feel like if they had one good receiver, they might just be that one player away to get to the Super Bowl. But hopefully, Percy Harvin can play this year because that'd be a nice and really fun to see him play in that offense with Russell Wilson. That'd be really awesome to see. So I don't mind them number one overall. And anybody else has a problem with it, let me know in the comment section below why you don't think they should be that high. But it's fine to me. Number two, of course, we got the Atlanta Falcons. They have made pretty much a couple improvements on their team. They got rid of their Pro Bowler Tyson Clavo and added another right tackle who was young. They also added Steven Jackson to the offensive lineup, to the offense to complement Julio Jones and Roddy White with a nice run game since Michael Turner was pretty much run down last year. Now, my big concern with that team is the defense. They pretty much allowed a lot of points last year. They weren't that great, basically, the entire time with stopping the pass or the run, I want to say. So they lost Brent Grimes. They also lost their best pass rusher in James Abraham, or John Abraham. I don't know his name. But, yeah, I don't think that they're going to be as good defensively as they were probably a year ago. I feel like they're gonna give a lot more points up, but they have that nice offense where they pretty much play this the way the Saints played back in 2009, where they pretty much will score two touchdowns on you in like 30 seconds. All of a sudden you're playing from behind, and now everything's a pass. So I feel like the Falcons, they're right where they are, and I don't mind that at all. Number three, we got the 49ers. Looking at that, that's perfect for them. They are not really being underrated. If you guys might think that, they're pretty much right where they are. They lost Super Bowl last year mostly because they didn't have a secondary, and secondary would have been key for them. But if you watch the highlights of the game or highlights of any other game, they pretty much had Navarro Bowman or Patrick Willis guarding a receiver, and that may work a couple times, especially against receivers that aren't that good or aren't that savvy. But if you watch them play against the Patriots or against the Ravens during the Super Bowl, they pretty much had mismatched all over the place. They had Navarro Bowman guarding Anquan Bolden, or they had Dennis Pitta on Navarro, like had on some random person. Like it was just not a good matchup for them. So I feel like they're fine where they are. They do got that nice offense with Colin Kaepernick and Frank Gore, and a nice receiver in Anquan Bolden now to contribute to the team. But their defense has a nice front seven in Alden Smith and Patrick Willis and Justin Smith, but their secondary. They did have Namdi Osama, but I don't feel like he's gonna be as good as he was back when he was a Raider. So I could be proven wrong. They could be great all season long, but I don't feel like they're going to be. So I'm fine with them being number three. Number four, we got the Denver Broncos. That's fine to me. They probably would be higher than the 49ers right now, maybe as high as the Falcons if they didn't lose Champ Bailey to an injury right now. He'll be back soon, but right now he's currently injured. And if they didn't lose Von Miller to that 6-game suspension. So they're hurting on the defense side of the ball, but I feel like they're going to put up a lot of points anyway with that offense, with Wes Welker being a new addition to that team. So I feel like they're going to have a lot of points scored this year. Peyton Manning's about to break some records, I believe. So they're fine with me being at number four. Number five is one of my problems I have with this list in the top 10. I feel like the Green Bay Packers are being overrated just because they have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. He's a great quarterback, but he has nobody really on that other than Jordy Nelson that really stands out to me. Plus, the offensive line pretty much has not improved from what it was last year. And they did add Eddie Lacy to help with the run game. But if he can't catch coming out of the backfield, I know he had a broken hand last year and his catching numbers were down. But if he can't catch the ball coming out of the backfield, he's pretty much going to be relegated to the bench because they're going to put another wide receiver at that running back slot just so they can have at least another outlet out there. So, and their defense pretty much has not improved. The only thing they got new was Clay Matthews, I want to say. Not new, but the only thing they got that's the same was Clay Matthews. And then they really add anybody that's basically going to, I want to say, help their team. I could be wrong. They didn't sign any flashy free agency players, but they lost their best receiver in Greg Jennings. I don't feel like the Green Bay Packers should be number 5 on this list, but that's just because Aaron Rodgers is their quarterback. I feel like the Patriots should be ranked number 5, the Texans should be ranked number 6, and the Green Bay Packers should be ranked number 7th. The Texans and the Patriots are going to have a really good season this year. Everybody's saying the Patriots are going to suck because they lost their best receiver in Wes Welker in free agency to the Broncos. They also lost a tight end in Gronkowski and Hernandez to injury and to allegedly murder. So I think the Patriots are going to be fine. The Patriots really never had really any good receivers. If you guys go back in history, the only receiver they had that was good was Randy Moss. But other than that, Tom Brady made Wes Welker. If Amendola is healthy, he can be Wes Welker. Also, Tom Brady made Deion Branch and anybody else that was out there, Brandon Lloyd. So Patriots should be fine this year as long as they get Gronkowski back sometime during the season. They should be fine with their offense. Their defense is young too, so watch out for them. Texans got a good defense. They got Brian Cushy come back off that terrible ACL injury he had last year. They also got the guy Ed Reed from the Ravens, and J.J. Watt, of course, is that man. Their offense is what I'm worried about because it's a little bit too predictable. You know, nobody can stop it. They got the not the read option. They got the play action with Arian Foster running the ball, and then Andre Johnson out there. If they were to add a receiver such as another complimentary receiver, a slot receiver, maybe to complement off Andre Johnson, they might go far this year. But it's going to be the same story, but a different script because they're going to get as far as they can. But as soon as they get to the playoffs, when people start focusing in on that just specifically, it's going to be the same old story. I hope when they can prove me wrong because I do like watching that team play. That they're just so much fun to watch in the field. And, of course, living in Texas, it's fun to root for the Texans and just make fun of Cowboys. So it's really fun to do that. So hopefully they get really far so people can just start talking about them instead of talking about the Cowboys so much. All right. Another person on the list that I did not like, or whatever, another team was the Baltimore Ravens. They're ranked really high to me. They won a Super Bowl last year, of course, but they lost pretty much everybody on their defense in free agency, and their offense is pretty much the same with no improvement other than losing Anquan Bolden and maybe Dennis Pitta. So they didn't really do much to me to be number 8 on this list. I feel like the Bengals should be higher than the Ravens, but to each its own. I feel like the Bengals can make a leap this year and progress a lot of teams because they do have a nice team overall. Their defense should be solid. They got the best pass rusher in the NFL and Geno Atkins, which might be a knee-jerk by me. He's great. And they also got nice cornerbacks out there. So I feel like the Bengals should be like number 8, and the Baltimore Ravens should be out of the top 10. Now, my biggest discretion, I believe, in this whole list was the Redskins being number 10 overall. Everybody's on their RG3 bandwagon. Of course, he's a great quarterback, but still, he really shouldn't be that high overall. But I don't have much time to video. The video's pretty much over. I'll discuss that in another video if you guys would like. Hit that like button, subscribe to the video or the channel if you haven't already been subscribed. I do got some packs for you guys to open, so you guys will see that in the next video. I do pull a legend to spoil it for you guys right now, but I'm out, the mother bleeper. Peace!